Hey guys, welcome back. Thank you so much for joining me. Hope you're having a great day. This time I want to show you guys this King of Fighters 98 Ultimate Match figure from Storm Collectibles. This is Ryo Sakazaki. I know him from obviously not just King of Fighters, but Art of Fighting specifically on the Neo Geo. So very happy to have this as a figure from Storm Collectibles. Here you go, King of Fighters 98. I got mine from Big Bad Toy Store. I think these are approximately around 96, 97 bucks. So a bit pricey there, but I love collecting these Storm Collectibles, especially the ones based on the fighting games. So here on the back, you see Ryo, the different effects and the different poses that you can put this guy in. So certainly excited to get this open and show you guys what this guy's all about. So let's get going here with Ryo Sakazaki from King of Fighters 98. To start us off, we get a background like we do with a lot of other Storm Collectible figures. This was of course based on the King of Fighters 98. I believe this is like the ruined temple background from that game. Obviously you get this awesome looking figure, but before we talk about Ryo here, let's talk about some of the accessories you get with him. Starting off with heads, you get two of them in addition to the one he comes with. So to start us off, this first head here is kind of grimacing, which again is very fitting for this character, but the head's done really well. The paintwork pretty much on point, no issues there. You got the blonde hair with some different brown highlights, so it is texture and sculpted really well on the back. And there you could see the eyebrows and the nose. I think it's a really cool option there. Of course, this is just held on by a ball joint, so you could just pop that off and put the different heads on. Here's the other one, and this is the one that I'll probably end up displaying him with. And this is of course his screaming or yelling phase rather. Again, similar paintwork as the other one. Everything's kind of right on point. Got some nice little details there in the eyes and everything. And again, the same thing with the hair. It's nicely sculpted. You got the different highlights here, going all the way around. So again, really cool options that they give us here with the hair, with the heads. So that's two of them. Of course, this wouldn't be a Storm Collectible figures if you didn't get a variety of hands. So you do get 6 pairs of hands in addition to the pair that he comes with. So it's a total of 7, and you get a variety of different hands. I mean, again, if you're familiar with Storm Collectibles, they tend to give you quite a bit of number of options. So you've got sort of like reaching out hands, you got stretched out hands, you got palm hands. So again, you get quite a bit of variety here that you can switch out, and they all match pretty well with the rest of the figure, so no issues there. And again, you could just pop these on and off. One other thing that is really cool that you get with this figure that's related to the hands is this awesome effect here. So this is based on one of the moves that he has in the game. I forget the exact name of it, but it's sculpted out of clear plastic. And again, you could see it here. It's painted, again, that flesh skin tone color, which matches really well. But you could see some of the clear plastic here. And of course, they use clear plastic here to joint all these sections. And, you've got the wrist wraps here done really well, and the hands to simulate the whole look of Ryo sort of punching real fast and doing that one specific move from the game, this is really interesting. I don't think I have any figures that try to emulate motion, at least Storm Collectible wise. As far as limbs, this is the first time I'm seeing it on my end, but it's a really cool accessory that I'm glad they've included because again, it's really cool. Of course, you can just pop the previous hand on, slide this in, and then sort of put that on. I'll show that off in a second. The next thing is you do get a stand, and it's not necessarily a stand for Ryo there. It's a stand for one of the effects that he comes with that I'll show you in a second. But again, you get all clear plastic. You get about 6 of these different poles that you can join together and give some height to the effect that you're posing. These are again, you can join them like so to give it more height depending on how tall you want the effect to go. So you do get 6 of these, so that's really cool. That goes along with this ridiculous, and I mean ridiculous in an awesome way, in a good way, effect here. This is one part, but mine came in 2 separate pieces. Kind of reminds me of a big ball of ice. So again, this is all clear plastic, blue, which I love the way they've done the effect here. Again, looks very ice-like, but I know it's technically a fireball. It's one of his special moves. I forget again the name, but I think it's done really well, and it's pretty big in hand. I want to say it's almost like the size of a softball, or a baseball, But again, it's really cool that they've included this. Again, it's all hollow here. But the paint's done really well, and again, the color and the effects it's really cool. And again, this goes along with this. So this is the front of it. Again, mine came separate. You can just join this together like so to give you that big fireball effect that he does from one of his special or ultra desperation moves, whatever you want to call them. And again, looks like a giant snowball just with flames coming out of it, and you could. Yeah. So again, 2 pieces. This is clear plastic as well. A little more softer, has a bit more give than this here. But I think it does work really well. So again, this goes with the stand. I don't know if you guys could see it. There's a hole there for the peg on the stand. So if you wanted to, you can, pose Rio, sort of doing one of his moves here and attaching this to the appropriate section here. So it looks like something like so. Just gotta play around with it some more, but yeah, this is really cool. Again, I love this from Collectibles, is including all these giant massive fireball effects or wave dashes or whatever have you with their figures, and I'm glad they're including stands for them as well. So that's really cool. I believe the Geese Howard and a couple of others have had similar effects. So yeah, this is pretty cool. But that's it for the accessories. Moving on to the actual figure here. Very plain looking, but again, that's Rio pretty much there. I love him. Now, starting off here with the head, again, very similar to the other head options, except that this is more of a serious, neutral looking face, and you can see there he's got that serious look there. You've got pretty much the exact same style hair with the highlights and the sculpting, which is really well done, so no issues there. Of course, very poseable here. You can get the head fully around, but the gi is going to get in the way, so you might just want to move it if for whatever reason you want his head fully all the way around. He can look up, probably about that much, and then look down pretty well. I would just try and be careful that you're not pushing the head by this front section. I don't know if it's a separate piece, but you don't want to end up breaking this little part here of the hair. So just be really careful when you're handling the head here. Then moving on down to, like most Storm Collectible figures, the gi here and the upper torso is all made out of soft rubber, and it's done again really well. So that's more for the posability aspect, but the skin color complexion matches really well with the with the other solid plastic. It's done really well. You've got his black undershirt there, and this gi is all one separate piece. The belt here is molded into it, but you can turn this around to give it some motion when you're posing this guy. So that's really cool, and you can lift this. This is 2 separate pieces. It almost looks like you could open this, but the belt here is kind of, again, molded against it, so you may end up breaking something if you try to take this apart. But again, really well done. You've got some nice details there. It is you got some texture, so it's not all plain like orange looking. You got the tears. You've got some nice like a light gray and black, and to give it a bit of a worn out sort of dirty look there. And it looks pretty good. Same thing here on the back. Again, you got the folds and the all the different ribs here on the back. It looks really cool. And same thing here. This is all soft rubber. The arms here, again, skin texture matches really well with the rest of the face and everything. Nothing much to say. Very plain looking, but again, that's Rio's character design. You've got his wrist guards here, and of course you got the fist, and you've got the muscle definition that you would with something like this. And of course, again, more you're going to be able to get this guy in some really cool poses. You got joints there, you got joint here, you can turn his arm pretty much just about all the way around. You just got to make sure you're careful not hit the gi here and break something, but you can move out, move down. There's some bicep rotation here that you could do, so you can move the bicep all the way around. You've got your elbows, which again are double jointed elbows, so that's really cool. And the arms here are rotatable. Of course, you can pop these arms off. You can put in the effect I just showed you, or the different hands. These just pop right off, but there is articulation there as well on the wrist, so that's really cool there. The waist, again, as I said, the stomach and the waist, this is all like soft rubber, so this allows you to look down if you wanted to, or look up, probably about that much before you start stressing things out. And you can turn this guy fully around. Just be, again, careful with this soft rubber piece. As far as the legs, again, continuing on with this nice orange theme, again, you've got the nice sculpting and texture work. You've got folds. It's not, again, all plain orange, so they've done a good job of adding some additional like grays and you know, some slight shading there to give it some good texture. And articulation wise, again, more Storm Collectibles articulation, like similar to the other figures, so you're going to be able to kick forward about that much, kick back. My joints are a little noisy because I just pretty much got this right. You could take the legs here, and he could do a pretty massive split. So if you wanted to post this guy like so, you can do his split pretty well. Again, kick forward, kick back. The knees here, double jointed knees, so you're going to be able to get some nice range of motion there. And there is a joint here on this black part of his leg here, so you can turn the leg fully all the way around. Sorry, the foot, you can turn it fully all the way around. And then there's the ankle joint articulation. You can't really move it left and right too much, just be really careful. You can move up and down with that. And then as part of the foot, you also do get a toe articulation, plenty for what's needed here. So again, overall, the suit looks great. I love the little details that they've added, even though it's very plain. Reminds me a lot of the Akihira Yuki from Virtua Fighter, except his gi was just white, and I'll show you that in a second. But overall, this is a pretty cool figure. I think you will be able to get him in some nice poses here. You know, some, you know, that's very reminiscent of the game if you wanted to. He'll look pretty cool there. Here we go. I'm showing you here one of the special moves. So I switched out the hands, switched out the head, put in the big fireball effect on the plastic stand there. I believe this is called the Hao Shokuken, if I'm pronouncing that right or not. I call it big fireball move, but again, that's really cool. You can recreate that based from the game. And here, showing you another option. This is the Zanretsuken. Again, you can add the effect. You have to take the fist off and you know, slide the whole effect in, and then you can push the fist back in. But I think that looks actually really cool. I may choose to display him in this way there, and I think the effect fits really well. You guys could see him there from the front, which is looking pretty cool. Here it is facing this side. That's sort of the view that you do get. But again, awesome job here with these the effects that they've included with this guy. All right, guys, so overall, pretty happy here with Ryo Sakazaki. Again, you don't get a lot of accessories, but the accessories that you do get are very substantial. Between that giant fireball and this little hand here, I think it's pretty cool. Of course, you get your different heads and your hands as well. But yeah, the figure is really cool. If I had to nitpick anything, it would be on my end. I really wish Storm Collectibles would start including stands for their figures, especially with how poseable they are, and also, you know, how pricey these figures are. It would be really nice if not only they included stands for the effects. I think that's great, but for the figures themselves. Other than that, don't have really much to complain. I mean, this guy's great. The posing is great. The accessories are pretty great. The colors on point, paint, everything kind of matches really well. If you're a Rio fan, I think they've done this character justice here pretty well. So let's go ahead and get going here with the comparison, starting off with Akira Yuki here from Virtua Fighter. This is the white uniform version there. Very similar, very same look there for both. The texture is pretty similar, you know, again, the white gi and the orange gi. So they do look pretty cool there together. And if you move him, let's bring in the other Akira. This is my preferred version here. The Virtua Fighter 2 uniform. This is pretty much what they look like together. And then if you want to sort of make them face off against each other, you could do something like so, which in my book looks really cool. I think these fit in pretty well together. So we'll move him out of the way, bring in another gi wearing character, and this is Paul Phoenix. Paul is taller. These Tekken figures do tend to run a little bigger in my experience, but I think this could still work. I think Paul is definitely a taller character than I guess if Rio, if they were to be facing against each other. But again, they look really cool there. So you could do something like so if you get these guys to stand up. So there you go. So that's Paul Phoenix. Let's do some Street Fighter. So here's Balrog here. Balrog's a big guy, and he is standing straight up and down. So, but I think to me this could still fit in really well. Balrog's a monster, or M Bison, depending on where you're at. So I think that works out pretty well for me. And then if you want to keep it with the larger Street Fighter characters here, we'll bring in Zangief here, which he is even bigger. So just trying to get all three of them in the camera. So Rio, those get dwarf by comparison next to these two here. But I think it looks awesome in my book. So we'll move these two out of the way. And then, you know what? Why not bring in something that has nothing to do with King of Fighters, but it is still Storm Collectibles. And this is the Goro from Mortal Kombat 10. Again, Goro is humongous, so that fits in really well in my book. This is an awesome big figure here, but you could see there the size difference. So let's go ahead and get Goro out of here. And then one more Tekken. This is Tekken 7, I believe. King. Another awesome figure from Storm Collectibles. But you can see them, they're both together posing, looking really cool. So we'll move King out of here, and then back to SNK with some Samurai Showdown. This is Haomaru, and that looks really cool in my book. Again, some kind of team up there between the two of them, looking really awesome. And there you go. Awesome looking figures there. We'll move Haomaru out. And then why not bring in Mr. Geese Howard there, looking pretty cool. Geese is a tall guy. Again, you know, Rio here is in a bit spread out pose, but Geese there would still be much taller. That looks pretty cool. And then the last one I have here is the Orochi Iori from the King of Fighters line. Orochi is pretty tall, but again, both of these guys are kind of striking a pose there. This is the Iori, the Orochi one. So, hence the pink looking skin there, but that looks pretty cool. Alright, so that's going to be it for me, guys. Overall, really happy with this figure here. Storm Collectibles, just keep making them and I keep buying them. This is an awesome figure, some really nice accessories, and overall the figure looks pretty awesome. I think it fits in really well with all the other ranges that Storm Collectible offers. If I missed anything, of course, please feel free to leave a comment or ask a question, whatever you want to do. If you made it to the end, thank you so much for your very valuable time, and I will catch you in the next video. Take care.